Think with Dr. Omoshola. Yes, I call myself your short plug on analysis of politics and happenings in the polity. Yes, this is the day the Lord has made. We will rejoice and be glad in it. You know, so many dramas in Nigeria. I just checked online and I saw that this man, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, fighting for the restoration of Biafra, that his case is, well, should I say, just going to start all over again because the judge handling his case has recused herself. Justice Binta Nyako has recused herself from the case of Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. So it leaves you wondering that, was the judge biased, or was it Nigerian government acting a script? Did the judge intentionally show some form of biasment so that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will request that the case be transferred away from the judge? A lot of questions begging for answers, and you try to imagine that Nigeria is a country whereby it's filled with unending drama. That's what I can say. It's filled with unending drama. When one drama ends, another drama is coming. I'm Akitude. God bless you, sir. I see you. You know, I just want to do this brief broadcast because I have an on-air appointment, right? I have to be on air, but I just thought, okay, let me do something little, because when I saw the something, I just laughed at Nigeria. I told my aunt one time ago that Nigeria is a place whereby there's unending drama. As one drama they end, whereby you think you are recovering from the laughter of that drama, another drama will just spring up, will just spring up immediately. Akido said, "You're really looking cool." Well, I just try to give myself rest. Abi, man no go die, man no go quench. Then it's like I just shaved my hair, so I think it helps me to look cool. So for me, it is actually said, are you out of the country? So you've given up on Nigeria, that you believe it is only when people are out of the country that they can look fresh. So people in Nigeria cannot look fresh. Today. But the thing is, you wonder what is going on. Let's be serious with ourselves. You wonder what is going on, whereby Nigeria, there's always this unending drama. Nigeria is a place whereby is either they are committing sin or they are acting drama. Is either they are committing sin or they are acting drama. But there's always something, there's always an issue. For instance, if they are rigging election in Edo, that is like committing sin, right? If they didn't release Nnamdi Kanu, and the implication now is his trial is starting all over again. If that's what it means, like, is that not drama? What's there in Nnamdi Kanu's trial that the man has to be held in confinement for this long? And I wonder what I wish I'm in that court to witness what they usually discuss every time. Because if a political case, right, if a case in Nigeria can use all these political cases, it can use max 6 months, right? If at the first court, if it can use maybe 3 to 4 months for you to determine a political case, why is Nnamdi Kanu's case, why is it dragging so long that you go to Supreme Court, then you come back to High Court, then after High Court they will still come back and say, okay, there's this, there's that, then the case will be literally starting all over again. You wonder that what is wrong? Why is this thing really like this? Because when you are presumed innocent, right? See, in Nigeria, you are guilty until the court says otherwise. All this, you are presumed innocent until guilty. It's a lie. Oh. It's a lie. You are guilty until the court says otherwise. Why do I say so? Why do I say you are guilty until the court says otherwise? Is immediately the security agencies get hold of you, whether it is the police, whether it is the DSS, immediately they get hold of you. It's as if, you'll be treated as if you're already guilty of that thing they're accusing you of, because where you will sleep is a terrible place. What you will eat is a terrible food. The way they will shout at you, the way they will molest you, the way they will scream against you, everything that you will be passing through in the course of that trial, if you balance it with other crimes, if you balance it with other crimes like other countries, you will know that immediately you are arrested in Nigeria, you are guilty, because you'll be living, you'll be living in pain. It will be as if you have already been convicted. So if you are innocent until proven guilty, and somebody like Nnamdi Kanu, right, if truly in Nigeria that you are innocent until proven guilty, then this man, if somebody is in confinement for 4 years, let us now imagine that, okay, after all said and done, the man is now found innocent. Do you know the damage of the 4 years to the man's business, to the man's reputation, to the man's psychology, even to the man's household? To the man's household, right? Because you have denied his wife, and the wife naturally has emotional needs. Let's be sincere with ourselves. I will talk Nnamdi Kanu's blame, but let us talk about that of the Nigerian government. If these politicians can fight for themselves, can muscle the court, can wrestle the court in such a way that within 3 months, 6 months, their own cases are determined for them to either stay in power or get out of power. If that is done, you imagine that why is it that other people, it is very difficult for them to get such privilege? I have a lot to say about this thing, but this one is just a brief broadcast. I will return in the evening, maybe around like 10 p.m. Nigerian time, because I still have to go. So if you are watching me for the first time, do well to subscribe, do well to turn on the notification button. I have some in-depth analysis on this thing, but let us just look at it. Let us just scratch the surface first before evening Nigerian time that will make it happen again. So if Nnamdi Kanu, if the political class can enjoy the privilege of speedy, this one is not trial now. Should I say accelerated hearing for political case? When election is done in Nigeria, anytime there's election in Nigeria, if you have a business case in court, that business case will be on standstill. If you are fighting, if you have any industrial case, it will be on standstill. The case of land dispute, it will be on standstill. Murder charges, different kind of cases will be on standstill till the court. Now it is now that the court are attending to some of those cases. It is now that the court are attending to some of those cases, because since, if in fact before the election, 6 months before the election, politicians will have been behaving like spoiled children. Pre-election cases, this one is not, this one is not the right candidate. This one still my this one rigged the party primary. This one doesn't have certificate. This one is not a Nigerian. That one, 6 months before the election, the court is shut down. The election will take place. About 1 year after the election, the court is completely shut down. So you see that in the cycle of 4 years, for about 1 year and a half, the court is totally shut down. The court is totally shut down by politicians. What am I trying to say is, if you want to put a man in confinement, for instance, don't embarrass the man's psychology. If you want to convict him, you already know where you are going. Convict him. Let him know what he is facing. But if you just keep a man and keep going from one court to another, and don't forget that going to court is not an easy thing. Money is being spent. This man has a wife, right? Maybe he has a wife. If it is girlfriend, forget that girlfriend is even gone. You know, that girlfriend is even gone. The only thing that can be keeping a woman that long, especially some of the kind of ladies God has created nowadays, that they have little patience, is if there is a child between them and it is an established marriage. The woman will be scared of what people will say, so she won't want to just abandon the children and go. But if Nnamdi Kanu just have a girlfriend, forget that girl is gone. Because a man that you cannot talk to, a man that you cannot see, that DSS will not allow you, maybe you are only allowed to see him once in a year. If you are only allowed to see Mazi Nnamdi Kanu once in a year, and you have people toasting you, go. Right? So if this man has a wife, his wife has been denied her own emotional needs. His wife has been denied financial support. Let us look at the role men play in a home. His wife has been denied that fatherly presence for the children. Fatherly presence. Right? His wife has been denied so many things for 4 years. 4 years. So if you now detain a man for 4 years and the man doesn't even know when he will be free, first, you have ruined that marriage. Except if that woman is as righteous as Mary, the mother of our Lord Jesus Christ, that she will hold forth for that man. And we know our African families. When Nnamdi Kanu is first in detention, maybe his family will turn up and say, okay, let's pay school fees. But before you know it, all those uncle, aunties, they come out their leg one after the other. By now, the wife will be alone. You have denied the kids access to their father. That in itself is not justice. When you look at other issues in Nigeria, the way it is accelerated, if you are sure, and we are all Nigerians, Nigerian government may not have any case against this man, may not have any genuine case or evidence, but they will just be like, okay, let's keep him there, let him just be there, for reason best known to them. And at the end of the day, maybe after 10 years, they will just release him without addressing. See, I believe when you detain one man, as you detain Nnamdi Kanu now, you have not really addressed this issue of Biafra something. In fact, I can tell you as a social scientist, political scientist, that rather than to kill the Biafra something, you are strengthening it the more. You are strengthening this Biafra thing the more, because the young ones of Igbo land, they are seeing some of these things. They are learning. They saw the way you are treating, murderous herdsmen. Murderous herdsmen, right? Those herdsmen that used to go and eat people's farmland, kill people, rape their wife. They saw the way they were being treated under Buhari, that they were not charged to court, and Buhari is even saying accommodate them, because those herdsmen, they share the same ancestral occupation with Buhari. So if all these murderous herdsmen, if you leave them, right, if somebody like Sunday Igboho, if you say, okay, let Sunday Igboho, let him go, is you may think Sunday Igboho is not as bad as Nnamdi Kanu, but at least there's a similarity in some of the offense they charge Sunday Igboho for and the one they charge Nnamdi Kanu for. Right? So you now imagine that naturally one of what makes a country in the true sense of it. If you are watching me for the first time, please take a moment to subscribe and turn on the notification button, because I'm coming for part 2 in the evening. I just want to do this bit first, you understand, because I have some things to catch up with. So you can imagine that if one of the things that makes a country is that ability not to be biased. Okay, that this is a country and the country is not biased. Like the country has rise above that level of biasment. That's why countries operate the judiciary, whether state government or federal government, and that's why you have that lady justice, that it is the weight of evidence. So naturally, if you do anything wrong, you just face the music. But if herdsmen are given privilege, if terrorists, bandits are given some privilege, right? If Sunday Igboho is pardoned, right? Because that is what has happened. He has been in the country and Nigerian government have not said anything. They've not made effort to arrest him. So the case is just gone like that. But this Nnamdi Kanu, even if you can't pardon him, we now have talked about herdsmen that used to go and kill people in their farm, right? I've talked about Boko Haramists, the way some of them are pardoned. I've talked about Sunday Igboho. Now, even if you can't pardon Nnamdi Kanu, or you can't give him such privilege, at least let his trial be accelerated. That is key to fundamental human rights. Let his trial be accelerated. If you are a judge, see, this case is long. There's no new evidence. For a case that have lasted 4 years, for 4 years, there's no new evidence you want to bring. If they just arrest Nnamdi Kanu today, right, they just arrest him now, the case may drag for a while. That maybe Nigerian government is still looking for more evidence. Maybe they are trying to convince witness to come forward, right? Maybe they are still trying to dig deep into the finances of Nnamdi Kanu, IPOB, or maybe they are still trying to trace his sponsors. So the case, we can say, may drag long. If you are watching me for the first time, please take a moment to subscribe. We can say the case, for a case that has been in court for over 4 years, we can assume that for the case to have lasted 4 years, there's no new evidence. There's no new evidence. So if there's no new evidence, that means that Nnamdi Kanu himself will be willing to let his lawyer sit today, sit tomorrow, sit next tomorrow. Whatever law you want to quote to set him free or to kind of like imprison him is already before you. You are not waiting for National Assembly to pass the law. All the international treaties that Nigeria signed to, they are already there. So because as a political scientist, it pains me when I see the state, like, a country that is meant to give justice, perpetuate any form of injustice. It's always very painful. If you are a political scientist or a social scientist, you understand what I'm saying. Sometimes the late trial itself is injustice. I'm telling you, and that's why they will say that if you arrest anybody, that if you cannot try that person within 48 hours, then release that person. You must try that person for an offense. What they are trying to do is that in any case, regardless of anything, so that your rights will not be breached and you won't suffer so many losses. Because the more they detain you, the more your rights, the more losses you are suffering. That's why they will say that, please, if you are watching this video, please help me like this video, please. Like it so that other people can get to see it, please. It is free to like a video. When you are watching any video, especially if it is live, please try to like that video. It doesn't cost you anything. And if you are watching me for the first time, please try and subscribe. You know, all these things, it helps, you know, in their own way on a platform like this. Because if you have friends, there's no way you won't have enemies too. So if your friends are not helping your platform to like your video, you know, then the day the enemy will come for you, there's no way they won't succeed. And there's no way you'll be friends with such people again. Because at the end of the day, if you don't have the platform, how will they see you? How will they hear from you? That's why it's always good to like videos, right? So the reason why they say don't delay people for too long is because they want to minimize any loss or pain that you go through, because they know that once you are restricted, you are going through pain. So if you cannot allow Nnamdi Kanu to enjoy that privilege, if you cannot allow him, what is stopping you from making sure that at least he gets what I call an accelerated trial, since there's no new evidence again? There's no new evidence you want to bring. That's the truth. If you want to call me, I will call out the number to call now. Some of you already have it, right? Some of you already have the number to call. But I'll soon call it out now. So you cannot delay, you cannot detain a man in perpetuity when there's no new evidence. There's no new evidence. What is stopping the trial from? And even when I read that news, I thought it occurred to me that, wait, this Justice Nyako, you know, if Nigerian government, if a government want to play a script, government is the best actor. That's one thing I believe in. Government is the best actor. That, okay, this Justice Nyako, if the case is going on smoothly, if the case is going on very fine, and they want the case to start all over again, what it will take is just the judge to just show a little bit of bias, just a little tiny. They know that Unending Kanu and his lawyers will request for that the trial should start all over again, that they should take the case away from the judge. And when they take the case away from the judge, what it means is that the trial will start all over again. Because the new judge, before he makes a judgment, he has to look at everything and make judgment based on his own reasoning, his own professionalism, his own conviction, and what the law says. So, and the side that some people may not be seeing, if you are watching me for the first time, please try and subscribe. The side that some people may not be seeing is, what if the judge has choose to act in such a way, just so that, because if a case is 4 years, Binta Nyako is the one handling it, the case has gone to the Supreme Court, has come back to Nyako, which I can say it is like it is more like a script by Nigerian government. If a case goes to Supreme Court and it comes back, you understand? It's either Nigerian government have approached Nnamdi Kanu that, Kanu, okay, if we release you, you will back off from Biafra and he's being stubborn, or we have a situation whereby Nigerian government knows there is no case against this man, but they'll just be playing script. You know, when they say playing script, they'll just be acting a script in such a way that just keep him there. But then, if there's no case against a man and you keep him unjustly, the truth is that you are causing great unusual pain to that person. And if that person is eventually released, rather than for him to remain calm, he may turn radical. So what I'm saying is, at the end of the day, you may turn this Biafran something into a very radical something, because already there are people that are profiting from that radicalism now. If you go to the southeast, There are some people that have not met Nnamdi Kanu, that have not seen Nnamdi Kanu. They will say, oh, sit at home. The sit at home, some people are using it to loot. Some people are using it to steal. So they are already profiting from it. So at the end of the day, you see that by the time you release the man, he may end up being totally radicalized. Because why? By the time you release him, it would have been finished. You know when they say finish? When you have nothing to fall back to. When you have nothing to fall back on. The reason why you are behaving yourself is because maybe that small car that you have, you want to still be enjoying it. That small money that you are earning, you want to be enjoying it, right? That your family, you want to be seeing them. But when you have nothing to fall back to, what will stop you from being radicalized as a human being? So the problem is the way Nigerian government is handling this thing. For me, it is a no-no. For me personally. For me personally, because you can do things in a better way. If you don't like the face of this man, accelerate his trial. Accelerate it. Judge, this is what we have. Nnamdi Kanu, guilty or not guilty? Not guilty. Okay. What are the evidences? Nigerian government, come with your evidence. This is the evidence. This is the evidence. Okay, Kanú, what do you have to say about it? Oh yeah, where is the witness? Cross-examination. Judgment delivered. It would have helped a lot because now they are the high court. They are the high court now. If they give the case to another judge and there is judgment, the only case that goes speedily in Nigeria is political cases. So if they give the case to another judge and the trial lasts for maybe 3 years, then they will most likely go on appeal. They go to appeal court. If that one lasts 4 years, then you go to Supreme Court. That one may last another 3 years. At the end of the day, 10 years. That means if Supreme Court now say, no, this man is not guilty, and he has spent 4 years, that means you have wasted 14 years of his life. Don't forget that since he's not guilty, if you look at what Nnamdi Kanu was doing before he became, before he was picked by Nigerian government, how much was he earning? If he's found not guilty, will you calculate that money that he's earning, that amount that he's earning? Let's say Nnamdi Kanu, before he was picked up in Kenya, was earning, let's say, if he was earning, let's say, £4,000, and at the end of the day, you've detained him for 4 years and still counting. If at the end of the day, Nnamdi Kanu is now released and the court eventually says he's not guilty, will you pay him that £4,000 for the amount of years that you have detained him, so that at least he can use that to start his life? That is why, as a country, when you are handling such a sensitive case like this, because you know that other people are watching, there are young Igbo boys that are watching how you are handling this in the Kanu's case, right? There are some of them that are watching to kind of like minimize problem for government. You want to make sure that justice is done, and if this man, why would you want to just imprison a man rather than imprison him? For instance, if you think this man has a point, that his voice is resonating with some people, that's why you want to imprison him, to shut his voice, then what you can do is, instead of imprisoning him, why not address some of this thing that this man is demanding? Your child is saying, I'm hungry, mommy, I'm hungry, mommy. You are telling the child, shut up, go and sleep. How will a child that is hungry, how will he be able to sleep? You know? So you are supposed to make sure that this thing is handled rightly, in such a way that people will see that justice has been done. But when you just delay a man, when you just intentionally detain him, and that is one of my concerns, when you intentionally detain a man for 4 years, you have almost finished that man. For instance, now Sunday Igboho is out of detention, right? He is holding his birthday in the UK. He is meeting with his wife and children. He is relaxing. He is making phone calls. He is living a fulfilled life. He's a happy man. Imagine if he's still in detention. That means you have denied him the right to all those things. You have denied him the right to all those things. Such a person, at the end of the day, if he dies in detention, if he dies, you have created, why you think you are trying to solve a problem by let's say imprisoning this man for as long as possible, you have created more problem. Because why? If one Nnamdi Kanu dies, there will be so many Nnamdi Kanu that would rise. For instance, when Ken Saro-Wiwa died, today we have so many Ken Saro-Wiwa, and Ken Saro-Wiwa in a more radicalized version in the Niger Delta. That's what we have today. You know, we have radicalized Ken Saro-Wiwa in the Niger Delta now. That their blood they hot, their eye they shook. You understand? So, in a case that there's no new evidence, speed up the trial of this. Even if you appoint another judge, can that judge receive briefing from his fellow judge, Binta Nyako? And if that is not possible, can everything be true? Because if you are to which one is difficult to determine? A presidential election case in a country of over 200 million people, whereby there are 36 states and I think 700 and something, how many local government? 700 and something local government. Which one is more difficult? A presidential election case in a country like that, or the case of Nnamdi Kanu? I think a presidential election case is even more difficult to adjudicate fairly over. So if a presidential election case can be treated within 1 month, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, and within 6 months, 6, 7, 8 months, the appeal court and Supreme Court have sat over the case. Have they assessed all the ballot paper across Nigeria? Have they called witnesses across Nigeria? But they just determine the case, and that is final. So if those cases can use that little amount of time, if you are watching me for the first time, please take a moment to subscribe. If political cases can take such little amount of time, what is the case of Nnamdi Kanu that is taking like forever? The more you are detaining the man, then there are some things about the Igbo leaders in the southeast. There's something about Igbo leaders. For instance, when Abiola was, should I say, murdered, or when he died, there was a Yoruba solution. Hear me well, though. Let's understand ourselves. If you are watching me for the first time, this is Politing with Dr. Omo Sholadeji. So please take a moment to subscribe. When there was injustice against Yoruba people, because there are some people that won't like this thing. I am a Yoruba man, but I'm very detribalized, and I'll say it as it is. When Abiola, when his election was unjustly annulled, we know that apparently this man was winning. In fact, he has already won. He was incarcerated. The Abashas and co, the IBB, Abdul Salami, and all that. The man died in prison, or was he killed in prison? Whichever one. When the man died, Nigerian stakeholders came together and gave what we call the Yoruba solution. They brought Obasanjo, they brought Olufalaye, and said, okay, it's because of power, B, we want you guys to still remain in Nigeria. Oh yeah, go contest for president, whereby it was a total Yoruba presidency. The contest between Obasanjo and Olufalaye, right? Contest between Obasanjo and was so that anyway, whether you like it or not, Yoruba will become president. Well, there's no way, because there were two parties. I think was it AD at that time? Was it AD? I think it was AD, right? PDP and AD. I think it was it AD. I forgot the name of the party. So they brought the Yoruba solution. It's not like the North did not have people that want to contest at that time. They have. It's not like Igbo do not have people, but the Nigerian stakeholders start down and say, let us give them what we call the Yoruba solution. Okay, Yoruba, go and become the president. We know that your brother has been killed, your brother Abiola. We know he won the election, even if they don't come out to acknowledge it. But they are speaking in parable that we know that your brother has been, unjustly killed. He has been denied. Oh yeah, go and be the president. I tag that in the Yoruba solution, because if the Yorubas were being denied in 1999, the Yorubas will still be clamoring today. It's natural. That is one. I've given you one instance. When the Niger Delta, when there was issue of bombing, killing, unrest in the Niger Delta, you understand? First it was Isaac Adakaboro, then to Kensaru Wiwa. Then you now have all these youth that, they know they hear anything, they know they listen to anything. You have those ones. Those youth, Nigerian stakeholders, assembled again and came up with the Niger Delta solution. That, these boys, they won't back down, and we are operating an economy based on oil. It is from oil that we are earning most of our money. And these boys that I'm seeing, they will not stop. So let us come up with a Niger Delta solution that at least if their brother is in power one way or the other, that's their brother. At least we will give him that tax. If anything happens, hey, go and speak to your people. Go and speak to your people. Go and speak to your people. And that one we go and say, hey, my people, calm down. Calm down. Government is working on it. They will push him to his people. So Nigerian stakeholders at that time came up with what? The Niger Delta solution. Then it was, this man? This was it Peter Odili that they thought of using, but Peter Odili was too smart, so they settled for Uncle Jonathan. Now that one is a little bit calm, and maybe then they were thinking, this Peter Odili, maybe he has already taken so much money already. They know themselves before they settled for Jonah. But it was not, Obasanjo may be a major factor, but it was not just like a one-man decision. At least it too will consult people. If you are watching me for the first time, please take a moment to subscribe, because I'll return few hours time to share some more insights. So they came up with the Niger Delta solution, and Jonathan was graciously offered the vice president. When he was offered the vice president, it is not that there's no Igbo person that is fit to be vice president. If you are watching me for the first time, please take a moment to subscribe and like this video. It's not that there's no Igbo person that is fit to be vice president. No, there are. It's not that there's no competent Yoruba person that can be vice president. Of course, there's competent Yoruba person. For instance, Buhari left there now as president. Hausa Fulani is the number 2 now. So if Obasanjo left that time, Yoruba can also be number 2. It's not like Obasanjo doesn't have a loyal Yoruba boy. It's not like Obasanjo doesn't like power or he doesn't like his Yoruba people. But it was a Niger Delta solution that these people that are agitating, these boys that won't let us rest, let us even do something. Right? Let us do something. Then you ask yourself, if the Nigerian political stakeholders, follow me, if the Nigerian political stakeholders, they are still the one, they are still the one that is there. It's not like maybe there's been a generational shift, or let's say there's been a generational change. If there's been a generational change, we can say, that is what is affecting Nnamdi Kanu. If there's been a generational change, let's say let's say the case of Abiola now, if it happened in the 1950s, if it happens in 1950, we would have agreed that there has been a generational change. So these people though do not understand some of the things that happened then. But during Abiola's time, right, 1993, 1999 till date, it is still the same. The Tinubus, the Ojius Okalu, the Buhari, the Barnabas Gemade, it's still the same of the same. There's no generational change here. So one thing that comes to mind is, if you give the Yoruba solution based on my explanation, if you are watching me for the first time, take a moment to subscribe. If you come up with a Yoruba solution, if you come up with a Niger Delta solution, what is wrong with coming up with an Igbo solution? What is wrong with coming up with that? Okay, you these people, you are just clamoring for Biafra, you are just screaming, shouting. Okay, take. Oh yeah, we've been ruling over you. Oh yeah, you two rule. Oh yeah, you two. Oh yeah, go and rule. So when this thing was zoned to the south, when northern governors during Buhari, when they assembled and say, oh, that power should come to the south, why don't they think that, okay, let us even make the agitation of this Nnamdi Kanu boy, let us make his agitation useless. Oh yeah, Peter Obi, take power. Okay, you don't like Peter Obi, you don't trust Peter Obi. Oh yeah, Oziujo Kalu, oh yeah, come and take power. You don't like Oziujo Kalu. Oh yeah, Rochas Okorocha, that one they call him Okoro Awusa. Oh yeah, Rochas, come and take power. We know you that you won't mess up. You don't like Rochas Okorocha. Okay, use the number 4 that became number 1. Hope Uzodima. Oh yeah, Hope, Bobo, oh yeah, come. Take power. Take power. If that is done, it doesn't have to be Peter Obi. No, it doesn't have to be Peter Obi. Just make sure that person is from the south and is bearing Igbo name. If it is Oziujo Kalu, if it is Hope Uzodima, if it is Rochas Okorocha, just make sure that it is pure Igbo name. Oh yeah, take. Go and sit down on that presidential chair. Oh yeah, sit down there. You are the president. Just as the political stakeholders, when they came together and say, oh yeah, Obasanjo, oh yeah, go and sit down there. You think Obasanjo that is in prison, that Abacha has finished his destiny inside prison, that if not for the grace of God, they even want to kill himself. You think it's Obasanjo that made himself president? Is it not all these IBB, the political stakeholders, Abdul Salam, all of them, Tony Aneni, all these body judge, all of them, that they sat down, including somebody like Bola Tinubu? Because you remember that photo of Bola Tinubu with Abacha. Some of you have seen that photo. So Bola Tinubu has been in the political circle for years, so he's not a small boy in this political game. Some of you have seen that picture with Abacha. So if these political stakeholders, those the kingmakers, I think that's a better word, the kingmakers in Nigeria, if they can come together and say, oh yeah, Shegun, come, go and sit down there, be the president. If they can sit down and say, these Niger Delta people, the way they are doing, they will cause problem. If we don't see their oil to collect, we won't even see money to run a government. Let us settle them. Oh yeah, Jonah, bring down your big head here. Come here. Oh yeah, go and sit down there. At least be number 2. Jonathan was an accidental president. He was not meant to be president. If Yar'Adua had not died, he won't be president. So if you think that, okay, you don't trust these people, like you don't trust the Igbo people, why not find a Yoruba man that you would have done test for, that you know that except God want to show that he is supreme, that this Yoruba, he will not die in power or this Hausa man will not die in power, that you know that he's ill and healthy, why not pair him with an Igbo person? If the Nigerian kingmakers, if they are serious, if you do that, you would have useless anything Nnamdi Kanu is saying. Like I said, I've given you 2 examples. It has worked before. For the Yoruba during Abiola, if you are watching me for the first time, please take a moment to subscribe. For Yoruba during Abiola, for the Niger Delta during the Niger Delta struggle, if this thing has worked before, so if it has worked before, why can't you use it again now? Since 1970, there has been this agitation upon agitation. You know this Biafra thing, it's like this. It's like a wave. At one point it will come down. Before you know it will just, it will come down again. Then to just, so it's like a wave. So why can't you, Nigerian government, just say, okay, oh yeah, Igbos, you two taste this juice. This juice is sweet, oh, this power thing is very sweet, oh yeah, taste. What will happen? But if Yoruba left power, Obasanjo left, he gave it to, except my teachers are wrong. That's why me, I'm a Yoruba man, no, but I'm a truthful person. And that's why you can't take it away from me. My name is not Chukwuemeka, my name is Deji. Omoshola Deji is a typical Yoruba name. 100% Yoruba. I'm not half Igbo. So don't think I'm related to Igbo. I'm a Yoruba person. But the truth is, if Yoruba man, except my teachers are wrong in secondary school. In secondary school, what I was taught, except my teachers, maybe now teacher, they just give me that time. What I used to hear is Nigeria has over 250 ethnic groups, but there are 3 major ones: Hausa, Igbo, Yoruba. That's what they taught me. Hausa, Igbo, Yoruba. Over time, when I started growing up, and recently you will hear Hausa, Fulani. While I was in secondary school, there's nothing like Hausa, Fulani. Oh. It's just Hausa, Igbo, Yoruba. Hausa, Igbo, Yoruba. There's nothing like Hausa, Fulani. But maybe because these Fulani guys, maybe they have been opportune to occupy leadership position, or maybe they are kind of like aggressive for power and domination, right? So maybe they've been able to force themselves on Nigeria, and maybe they've been able to subdue, they've been able to, should I say, conquer the Hausa people. So if these Hausa Fulani guys, that's what we have now, Hausa Fulani. But what they taught me in secondary school is Hausa, Igbo, Yoruba. But now what we have is Hausa Fulani. So let me use, if Hausa Fulani, if the Yoruba lives there, that is Obasanjo. And there are 3 major ethnic groups, Ndidiamaka, Akponunu. And Ndidiamaka, where you dey since? Ndidiamaka, Akponunu. Akpunonu. Ndidiamaka go sue me to court to say I dey spoil her name. Akpunonu. Akpunonu, where you dey since all these days? You know they come politic. Because I know they see you. How have you been? I remember that now that Akpunonu. Now it make me remember. I familiarize myself with my viewers. I know all of you, except you know the Ndidiamaka, where you dey study? And what are you studying? Is it BSc? Is it Masters? Which school? Nigeria or abroad? So, if my teacher says Hausa, Igbo, Yoruba, PhD, UKZN means what? Please help me in full. PhD in what? So if they say Hausa, Igbo, Yoruba, and if I go back to since 1960, it will be a problem. It will be a problem. The injustice go too many for your eye. So let me start from 1999. So if from 1999 that okay, this is democracy, Hausa, Igbo, Yoruba. If Hausa, if you are watching me for the first time, drop your comment and please subscribe. If you subscribe, you can put it in the comment section. Let me acknowledge you. So this is a detribalized platform, and some of you may not like me. You can see that what I'm saying is the truth, whether you like me or not. If you like, saying KDG is a bastard Yoruba boy story. The truth is the truth. Okay, KwaZulu Natal, in South Africa, PhD in social science. Is it PhD in social science? Because there are different aspects of social science. There's sociology, anthropology, industrial and labor relations. In some places, psychology falls under social science. There's international relations. There's political science. Sometimes they do gender studies. Okay. Hope your research, hope you favor man and woman, no? Because anything gender studies always favor women. In Idamaka, shout out to you. What stage you did for that your PhD? Have you collected data? Then is it about well, of course it will mostly be about Nigeria, except you are on grant, except your supervisor has a grant, else it will be, the study will be about about Nigeria. I did my own PhD on this Niger Delta issue. That's why you can't. I hate when there's ethnicity. When you guys are just eating it, I don't like it. That's why I'm very tribalized. I've embraced everybody. I've lived among Europeans. I've lived among Chinese. FA say what are they studying in the gender? A lot. What are you saying? A lot. In every field, research no dey finish. In fact, end of research, the word end of research is a research on its own. Now why is research ending? Now academics go understand. FH, I see you. End of research. End of research. That end of research is the beginning of another research on its own. So there's a lot to learn in gender studies. For instance, why is it that for instance, if a man sees you and he doesn't like you, the probability that man come back and like you genuinely is very slim. I've not done anything related to gender study. I'm just trying to pick something in my head. If a man sees a lady and he hates that lady with passion, and he hates that lady with so much passion, the probability that man will come back and like that lady is very slim. But then if a lady sees you and she doesn't like you at all, women are wired in such a way that if you are consistent, if you are persistent, if you can be convincing, the lady may begin to like you. Why is it that way? Why is it that if anything happens, it is woman that will be screaming the most? Why? Why is it that if anything happens, it is women that will be crying the most? Why is it that if somebody dies, why is it that if somebody dies, they will say, don't tell the woman, find a man in the family? Why is it that if they want to break news in the hospital that maybe somebody will be on wheelchair, they will call the man? There's a lot to study. A lot. And there's something education does to you. FA says, I hope you are not, I think you are referring to Akunonu, right? Akunonu, she said, FA says he hopes you are not into feminism. Captain Tude King says, Captain Dr. Tude King, PhD Aviation Philosophy. Aviation Philosophy. Aviation. I've not heard that one before. Aviation Philosophy. Except if you tell me more, sha. Aviation Philosophy. Is there philosophy regarding aviation? Philosophy, well, I don't know. Maybe. I don't want to dispute it. You know. Captain, today, where did you do PhD in aviation philosophy? So, as I was saying, if Yoruba man live there, live power. If you are watching me for the first time, God bless you. Please take a moment to subscribe and turn on the notification button. I'm still coming back. Evening, 10 p.m. Nigerian time. I'm still coming back to politics. So this one, I'm just testing the waters. So if Yoruba man leave power given to Hausa Fulani, and there are three major ethnic groups, that is Yaradua. There was an accident, right? The death of Yaradua, and by agitation they gave it to Boda Jonah. Now, Boda Jonah is not part of the three ethnic group, who is Ijo. And while I was doing my research, Ijo is, I think, number 4 or 5. You know, all this Ijo, Ishekiri, Urobo, you know. So, if by accident Ijo did it, don't forget that all these things that I'm ruling out, Igbo is not number 2. Oh. I'm focusing on number 1. Oh, but for the sake of time, be using eye to monitor number 2. I'm talking about number 1. In Nigeria, it's a marriage, right? Hausa Igbo, Yoruba, everybody, oh yeah, come. We shall now be Nigeria. Abi na Lord Lugard say, oh yeah, may not be Nigeria. And after Lord Lugard die, after Britain go, you guys says, okay, we still be Nigeria by fire or by force. So if this guy, if number 1, Obasanjo, be focusing on number 2, I want to focus on number 1. If Obasanjo, if you are here to subscribe. If Obasanjo is Yoruba, Yaradua, Hausa Fulani, by accident you give it to number 4, because number 4 is agitating, right? Because you know that if you don't comport, you won't see money. Then after Jonah, Hausa Fulani snatch him again from Jonah, right? Now Yoruba still come collect him. You now look, say, okay, let's say maybe Igbos are not destined to be number 1. Sorry, I'm just using it as an analogy. I'm not saying Igbos are not destined to be number 1, but just for the sake of this conversation, let us now imagine that maybe there's one, maybe they no give Amadioha the sacrifice where they supposed to give her. Let's just imagine, say, okay, maybe now by destiny. Excuse me, what happened to number 2? Because if Nnamdi Kanu eventually dies, these are some of the things that will resurrect another Nnamdi Kanu. Let's not deceive ourselves. If you are not fair, if you are not just, all these things will still happen. Let's be sincere with ourselves. So in fact, I can tell you as a social scientist that if you go to Igbo land now, there are no less than 1 million Nnamdi Kanu. It's either they want to be like him or they believe in what he's fighting for. Those are Minu Nnamdi Kanu. Those are embryonic Nnamdi Kanu. Those are photocopy Nnamdi Kanu. Let's not deceive ourselves. So if Obasanjo, even if you are doing it north-south, what happened during Yaradua's time? The Biafran agitation is older than the Niger Delta agitation. Are you with me? Do I need to lay hands on you? Do I need to fast and pray before you understand me? And you are watching me. You are watching me. You are yet to subscribe. Do I need to speak in tongues? Do I need to fast and pray before you subscribe? So if the Niger Delta agitation is older than, if Biafra agitation is older than that of Niger Delta, but you choose to attend to that of Niger Delta, okay, fine. After attending to that of Niger Delta, that okay, money is important. That money is very important. After attending to the Niger Delta, why didn't you attend to the Igbo as well? Okay, during Buhari's time, why didn't you attend to it? Okay, let's now imagine that, okay, maybe we forgot. Now that Oga Tinubu is there, why don't you give that attention to Igbos and make useless of anything Nnamdi Kanu is saying? Why don't APC produce Igbo? Say, Uzodinma, come. This is your big yellow head. Come here. Oh yeah, go and contest. Hey, Ozil Jokalu. Oh yeah, come here, come here. Oh yeah, go and contest. Why don't they do like that the way they did during Obasanjo's time? If they have done that, you would have naturally made Nnamdi Kanu, all his agitation, you would have rendered it not void and useless. But you did not do that. You did not accelerate his trial. See, one thing I've noticed over time is Nigerian government is not really good at solution. Successive Nigerian government, don't take my word for it, do a bit of research. Nigerian government are good at creating problem. When the problem now comes, they will now be running etasketa. They will now be running etasketa. That's how Nigerian government have been doing. The Niger Delta, they didn't create any solution. It's when it became big problem, they are now running etasketa. Oh yeah, carry helicopter, go and meet those boys in the creek, go and do this, go and do that. This Biafra something now, that it can still be saved. Okay, if in 2027, can they agree that, oh yeah, Igbo man, go and go there, go and use 4 years? Tinubu can never agree to that. Okay, after Tinubu leave there, the Hausa Fulani that don't joke with power, that in fact, they are already hungry and angry for power. So that means, by calculation, for the next, this is 2024, right? 2024. It is 3 years to 2027. Then 3 plus 12. That is 15 years. So for the next 15 years, there's no way Igbo man can be president. Because you know what? If Tinubu wants to live there, I doubt if he will appoint an Igbo as vice. Because if you look at people in his circle, the people that Tinubu trust and they are mostly used, that is mostly used to, they are Hausa Fulani Yoruba. Hausa Fulani Yoruba. So if Tinubu is leaving, if he use 8 years, he want to hand over to Hausa Fulani, then back it up with all this is political Yoruba godson. You know there are very many. Wale Edun, Yemi Kadoso, Sanwo-Olu. He has many of them. How many Igbo does he have? Does he want to make Joe Igbokwe vice president? All the talk that Joe Igbokwe has been making since that he has been denying his people. What has the Tinubu government or APC, what have they compensated him with? What have they compensated him with? You know, and if you look at Tinubu's cabinet, which Igbo minister is strong? Look at it. Look at Tinubu's cabinet. Which Igbo? Is it that one that is Minister of Women Affairs? That one. Is that one strong? That one is not strong. Who else again? Oh, this Tinubu cabinet self, you have to struggle before you remember who the ministers are. Unlike during Obasanjo's time, during Jonathan's time, you know, you instantly remember. But this Tinubu time, now I've remembered one. I'm trying to remember another one. So you know that it is not sure. So this thing keeps going on and on and on and on and on, and you want people not to agitate. They will agitate. So if you want to make Nnamdi Kanu's argument, if you want to render it null and void, what I can say is provide the Igbo solution. Just as we have provided the even self. Look at it. You know, Nigeria is even far from the Igbo solution if you look at it. For instance, let us look at number 4. Let us look at the top 4. Even during Buhari's time, look at the top 4. During Jonathan's time, look at the top 4. The top 4 now, Yoruba, number 1, Tinubu. Number 2, Hausa Fulani, Shetima. Number 3, Senate President, Akpabio, Niger Delta. Number 4, Tajuddin Abbas, Hausa Fulani. So, in the top 4, Igbos, nowhere to be found. Executive, President, Vice President, nowhere. Legislature, Senate President, Speaker of House of Rep, nowhere to be found. Judiciary, let's imagine that the judiciary one is understandable. But maybe if Igbos have been well represented by appointment of judges, maybe they will be Chief Justice today, right? Even in the judiciary, when they want to appoint, it's more of it's Tinubu that just balanced it, that he appointed Igbo judges to the Supreme Court. Before, Buhari did a terrible job. It was mainly Yoruba and Hausa Fulani. That's why before Igbo man can even become Chief Justice of Nigeria, he go take. Because if you look at the row, if you see Yoruba, you see Hausa Fulani, Hausa Fulani, Hausa Fulani, Hausa Fulani, then you see Yoruba. So before Igbo can become Chief Justice, it go take time. It's not, it's not anytime soon. So if you now look at it, that in the executive, Igbo is missing. Legislature, Igbo is missing. Judiciary, Igbo is missing. And you think people won't, this Nnamdi Kanu something won't resonate with people? You think it won't resonate with people? So what a reasonable government or a sane country will do is kill that lyrics of Nnamdi Kanu, do something that will nullify that lyrics. Kill something that will nullify that lyrics. Okay, look at Tinubu's cabinet. Which Igbo is a major minister? Except this man, this Dave. I remember another one. Dave Umahi, right? That is Minister of Works. Yes, Dave Umahi. Though if you look at Dave Umahi, we can say, okay, the Ministry of Works is a strong ministry. You understand? Money there, billions of dollars. Right? So, apart from Dave Umahi, any other strong ministry, there's no Igbo there. I'm trying to remember. FCT is not a strong something. FCT, you are only limited to FCT. Jason Wike cannot come to Lagos State and be gallivanting. Tinubu intentionally, Tinubu is very wise. That Wike, he doesn't have political advisor. They think it's just money and giri. If I'm his political advisor, I will tell him, don't collect that minister. They intentionally use it to tame him. Jason Wike cannot go to even Nasarawa State to go and form champion there. His jurisdiction no reach there. They intentionally kept him under Tinubu so that Oga I go feed the see 247. So that it doesn't grow, it doesn't grow wings. So why not bring an Igbo man and put him in a strategic position? For instance, now, Chief of Staff is a Yoruba person. Chief of Staff is very powerful. In fact, Chief of Staff is powerful than some of these ministers. Some of you don't know. If you are watching me for the first time, please take a moment to subscribe. Chief of Staff is a powerful position. So if Chief of Staff, Igbo is not Chief of Staff. Secretary to Government of the Federation. Igbo is not Secretary to the Government of the Federation. That one is Akume, they call him. If Igbo is not second to the judgment, to the federation, let us now look at it. Let us go to the service chiefs, immigration, EFCC, ICPC, police, custom. Help me, guys. Help me. The army. You know army. They are like three. I think one of them is Igbo. They just put him there, right? To just shock it. That's what we call shocky. They just shock him there. But if Igbo man is the head of custom or add immigration to it, what will happen to Nigeria? Is there no Igbo man? So there's no Igbo man that can be Inspector General of Police. In fact, wait. When last did an Igbo man become Inspector General of Police? You don't tell. My mind just go there. You know the something. Some of the crucial agencies is police. Which the Igbo man became Inspector General of Police? Buhari tenure, you know they possible. We know that one. You know? And you expect that there will be no agitation. Yoruba, Hausa, na they rotate among una self. I'm a Yoruba man, no. But the truth is the truth. Yoruba and Hausa, Awabi and Hausa Fulani, na they rotate am. Oya, bring it. Oya, give me. Oya, bring it. Oya, give me. Oya, take. Give me back. Oya, no. It's my turn. It's your turn. And you expect that what Nnamdi Kanu is saying will not resonate with some of all these small Igbo boys. So what am I trying to say? I'm trying to say is that if you don't like Nnamdi Kanu, if you want to punish him, it's okay. That's left to you and your God. If you don't like him, if you want to imprison him, that's left to you and your God. You know? But in order not to create a monster out of this thing, Kensaruwiwa was very nice. He was very gentle. Now just kill and throw away. Those boys wey dey Niger Delta now, they are high. They red. Yeah, good afternoon, Kelvin. If you are watching me for the first time, please take a moment to subscribe. Those boys wey dey Niger Delta, they are high, they red. So, in order not to create a situation whereby this Biafra thing will turn to another monster entirely, before it turn to another monster entirely, please. You know that it hasn't gotten to a stage that maybe now they are just killing some of these guys. They are saying, police, you know. So you see some of them, which I totally condemn, which I believe it is madness. That you see somebody in police patrol vehicle and you open fire on them. No, I totally condemn it. But then I pray it doesn't get to a stage that they will now go and be attacking Yorubas in their land, be attacking Igbos in their Hausa in their land. I pray to Almighty God that it doesn't get to that stage. The percentage of Igbo in the southwest may be more than the percentage of Yoruba in the southeast, but there are Yorubas in the southeast. Look at Davido and Chioma now. Igbo, right? Chioma, David, Adeleke, Yoruba. Na collabo. Abiana they talk now. Na collabo. They have twins now. Ifeanyi is late. That twins is a product of what? Na collabo. And there are so many marriages like that. Some of you that you are watching me, come and swear that you have not have Igbo girlfriend before you marry. Some of you Igbo girls, have you not followed Yoruba man before? You see some of this hypocrisy. If you see Igbo girl and your mouth dey water, fine girl. You no go remember tribalism. That's how hypocrisy don't kill our people for Nigeria. And Hausa man, Hausa Fulani. In fact, during Buhari's time, there are some of these Hausa, all these ranka the allergy, that they have Igbo girlfriends. So, if did you know that it is only during all this all these politics that Nigeria will think of tribalism. If you are driving and you see a sweet Igbo girl, you see Amaka, or you see Chidima, you see Ngozi, you won't remember that this girl is an Igbo girl. You say, That's how you be doing, you know. I don't know what Angel Gabriel is doing. That he will be watching you. You will see a woman, he cannot give you dirty slap on behalf of God, saying, receive sense. So why not create some little things and make sure that you reduce the suffering that you put this man to, because the younger generations are learning. All these small Igbo boys, they are learning, no? They are learning. If you are watching me for the first time, please, subscribe and like the video. They are learning. So let us just be fair. If you don't like Nnamdi Kanu, it's okay. If you hate him, it's okay. If you want to imprison him, nobody will be alive forever. It's okay. If that is your wish, but address what the guy is saying, you know. The obvious injustice, address it. If you don't address it, if you kill Nnamdi Kanu, you would have given birth to a million other Nnamdi Kanu. So if you can tame this Nnamdi Kanu, right? So when Nnamdi Kanu, when there are many Nnamdi Kanu, how many can you tame? You are able to tame and kill Sarowiwa. When there are now many militants, how many were you able to tame? So what I can say is, so long as I'm a Yoruba man, if you, Yoruba, and you, Hausa Fulani, you still want to be enjoying Nigeria, be rotating power, at least give Igbo too, give them small, just as you're giving Niger Delta. Give them small, so that at least you would have made useless of what Nnamdi Kanu is agitating about. It's mostly about inequality. It's mostly about it. So when you address it, you've made useless of anything that he's saying. Sunday Igboho is saying Yoruba nation, Yoruba nation. Now that a Yoruba man is there, if he shouts Yoruba nation, who wants to listen to him? In fact, people will tear him a dirty slap, my friend. Get out of here. We are already there now. So you want us to go now that we are ruling over Nigeria? So that is it. By the grace of God, we will see in the evening Nigerian time, like maybe 10, because I have some things to do. But I just thought, let me just touch on it briefly. Then I have a video that I want to upload on this Biafra thing. Right? I have a video, and it's a studio recording, so I will upload it. I think I titled it Biafra, why Nnamdi Kanu should and not be released. I think should bracket not be released. So you can catch up with that video when I upload it. If you are watching me and you are yet to subscribe, please take a moment to subscribe and turn on the notification button. Nigeria is a dramatic country. You feel sign out now. You just look at news, you see another breaking news. There's another drama. Do election. We never finish that drama. This one don't come out. Before you know it now, be tomorrow or evening, there's always another drama. All this, if there is a credible electoral system, there will be no drama in Edo. If there is justice and equality, there will be no drama on Nnamdi Kanu's case. If there is no drama on the part of government, if government have built refinery, Nigerian successive government have been very useful, they've been good, there will be no drama over this first subsidy thing, right? There will be no drama over it. So Nigerian government like to create drama everywhere, all over the place. So if you are watching me for the first time, you are here to subscribe, turn on the notification button. If you have been with me all along, God bless you. I appreciate your time. And we see Nigerian time, like 10 p.m. Yeah, let's say 10 p.m. Nigerian time, by the grace of God. So I already have my notes here on this Nnamdi Kanu thing, but I've just touched on 2 out of about 10 something that I want to talk about. So hopefully by the special grace of God, we meet later and we catch up. Thanks for politicking with me. See you later. God bless. I love you all. I appreciate it. Thank you.